Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it may be. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. It's the one and only. I'm back again with another live stream. Hi, family. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Huh? Much love to the channel. You guys have been showing a lot of love lately, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So tonight we're going to kind of have a little funny episode, I'd say, where I talk about this very important topic. A lot of times we have these scragglers, okay? They come onto my channel and they get in my comments and they say dumb and stupid things. Well, Africa's not for everyone. I'm not African. I'm an indigenous Chickasaw Indian. Whatever, whatever, whatever. They don't even like us over there. A bunch of white people just got citizenship in Ghana. They're very dumb and stupid. So today I want to actually talk about people of whom Africa would not be for. Okay. If any of these things apply to you, I created a list of 10 items. Okay. If any of these things, if you find yourself in any of these categories, then let me be the first one to tell you Africa is probably not a good fit. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Guys, if you're here, make your presence known in the chat room. You guys know what it is by now. The code is on and popping. Yes, it's the one and only African Superstar, the grandmother of Ghana. I'm back with another fun and engaging live stream. Okay. The first way to know if Africa is not for you is this should be common sense, but you would be amazed that we have people here living in Africa to whom this applies. The first way to know Africa is not for you, you don't like Africans. Huh? What? You live in Ghana, you don't like Ghanaians. You live in Nigeria, you don't like Nigerians. You live in Kenya, you don't like Kenyans. Okay? This is the number one indicator that would that should discourage you from coming to the continent. Okay? Because obviously any of the countries here on the continent, you are going to be a minority, you are going to be a foreigner, and the countrymen of that country are going to be the majority. Okay, there's not any African country where the inhabitants are more foreign than the local people. So if you don't like Africans, you can't get with the culture. You get annoyed when you hear their language, and you don't like their traditional dress, you don't like their food, you don't like their music. It should go without saying that Africa is not for you. Okay, so the first way to know Africa is not for you is you don't like Africans. All right. The second thing I want to talk about tonight is you are not adaptable. Okay. Now, the majority of the continent is still developing. What that means is there are issues with infrastructure. There are issues with electricity. There are issues with roads. You know what I'm saying? There may not be, for instance, maybe your area doesn't have all the amenities that you are accustomed to and all of that stuff. If you are not adaptable, if you're someone who likes, you like the dot over your I and the cross over your T, and you're really, what's the word they use? OCD, you're very particular. You can't stand, an ever-changing environment. This is not for you because, like I said, this is specifically talking about Ghana because that's where I've lived. It's a developing nation. I've seen a lot of change and development. I remember one of my viewers commented on the video where I talked about, will you be the last to Africa? And I showed a mansion that I pass whenever I go to the gym. And during the course of my time here, I've seen that mansion get, completed. He also has another mansion right next door that's been completed. The road in front of the place has been paved. So these are just minor things, but things are always changing. If you're someone that's going to really struggle to adapt and you're one of those people, you just hold on to the way it is or the way it should be and all of that stuff, it's going to be difficult for you in Africa. So you may want to avoid it. Okay. The number 3 reason is you love all 4 seasons. Hello. I know some of you guys are out there. You like the spring, you like the summer, you like the autumn, you like the fall. You even love snow. You like cold weather, okay? You like the four seasons. Most places here on the continent are in tropical, seasons. Now, I know that East Africa, South Africa, they tend to get a bit cooler. South Africa actually has had snow even last year. I traveled to Egypt in February, and that was a cooler period in Egypt, which I was shocked because I thought, oh, I'm going to a desert, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to a hot place. And I packed warmer clothes, and it's so cold in Egypt at times. They have heaters in the hotel rooms for the night. So, this is why I recommend, if you're able, to start traveling around the continent to find the place that has the best fit. By far, West Africa is the hottest part of the continent. Okay, our weather here is humid. It's sunny, it's warm. We normally have a steady 30 degrees Celsius, which I believe is about 80, maybe 85 or so Fahrenheit. And that is the weather here. So if you're someone who really likes the four seasons, for instance, Africa may not be for you because you're going to get a lot of one season or maybe two. In some places, here in Ghana, we have about 3 seasons, I'd say, roughly. We have, well, let me say we have 3 seasons. We have the Harmattan, which is a dry, dusty period. It typically does not rain during Harmattan. That usually starts around December into January, February. And then our rainy season, it has actually been fluctuating since I moved to Ghana. But originally the rainy season starts in the springtime. So, March, April usually wraps up over the summertime. Rainy season was extremely long last year. It rained from the spring all the way into the autumn time. So we usually have, in most places in Africa, have the dry season, the rainy season, that kind of thing. Again, some places like South Africa, you're going to get really extreme cold temperatures to snowing. There's no snow in West Africa. I'm not aware that it snows in Kenya, but I do know it gets pretty cool there. Certain seasons, if you go, you'll see Kenyans wearing coats, and it's cold in the night and things like that. So big shout out to African Superstar family. Guys, if you're here, let me see you in the chat room. Please be on code. Nobody has yet greeted, and we have about 10 of you. So please do the needful. All right. I'm talking about 10 reasons to know Africa's not for you. Okay. Number 1 is you don't like Africans. I know it's common sense, but yet we do have people coming here that don't like Africans. They're annoyed by their whole environment. It's a mistake. Don't come here. All right. If you don't like Ghanaians, you don't like Nigerians, don't move to their country. Very, very simple. You're not being forced to come here, and they don't care if you don't like them. So just stay where you are if that's the case. Number 2, if you're not adaptable, if you're someone who's stuck in your ways, you can't change, you're not willing to do those things, it's going to be difficult for you. You're in the developing nations here on the continent. They're constantly changing. And, I can speak about Ghana is developing pretty quickly. So if you can't adapt, this isn't the place for you. Number 3 is you like 4 seasons, okay? Or maybe you don't even like hot weather. There are some places you can find on the continent that are moderate, but if you come to West Africa, it's going to be hot. Hello. It's going to be sunshine all day. Big shout out to MD first and only in the chat room. The only one who's on code. Big shout out to MD. I see you there, girl. Thank you. Don't come here. All right. If you like 4 seasons, because you're not going to get the 4 seasons here in Ghana. You will not. You're going to get hot, hotter, and a little bit of rain sometimes. Okay. Number 4, very important. You're broke. You're broke. Don't come to Africa if you're broke. Okay. You come here, you took, maybe your income tax return, or you spent your last dollars to get here, your last pounds. It's a recipe for disaster. Okay. Especially if you're going to popular locations. Okay. Ghana is very expensive. It's one of the more expensive places on the continent. You come here with $2 thinking that you can stay in a mansion and afford yourself. You're going to be on the next thing smoking. You're going to be here with a GoFundMe campaign trying to get your behind back to the States. Okay, don't do it. Consider your finances, all right? Even though with the currency exchange, you can afford things, you know, maybe a different class or lifestyle here, it still requires you have money. It's mind-boggling to me how many people come here without money, without figuring out where they're going to live, without their sources of income or whatever. And then they get online and they're bumming. A lot of people talk, oh, Africans beg. So do the Americans. Shout outs to Afro Think Tank. He put out a video about this the other day, talking about how people in the West get online and beg. Okay, get on TikTok, get here, get, you know, move to somewhere they have not organized themselves, and then get online and beg and make an appeal to people to get them out of the crazy situation that they're in. All right. I know life happens sometimes, but if you've just moved to Ghana in 1 and 2 months and you don't have money and you haven't figured it out, please don't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 ways to know if Africa is not for you. Because like I talked about in the beginning of this episode, I do tend to have people come on the videos, Africa's not for everybody. We can't all move to Africa. I don't have money. I'm an indigenous, you know, whatever. I'm not African. I got you. This list right here is going to confirm or deny if Africa is for you. Okay, so the 4th reason is you are broke. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the show because we have 17 of you in the chat room. 17 of you viewing and only 1 person in the chat room. Please be on code. All right. What does that mean? You come in, you greet, you say hello. You can let us know where you're watching from. You like the stream and you be a part of the conversation, just like MD has done. You see, it's very, very simple stuff. Okay. Live streams are meant to be interactive. So please get in on the conversation. I'll wait until some other people join me in the chat room. Okay. Hello. Big shout out to African Superstar family. Right now, I'll take that opportunity to give you a commercial break. If you guys aren't familiar with my music, get a little bit of this. One and only, I'm back again. African Superstar on the track. It's the weekend, and ain't no place I'd rather be than here with you. And you here with me. Yeah. Got the sauce, boy. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. Yeah, that's Beach Chill, guys. Yes, I am an award-winning musician. Hello. If you're new to my channel and you weren't aware, if you don't know, now you know. That track is called Beach Chill. The official music video is here on YouTube, and you can also stream it. Big shout out to African Superstar family. Thank you so much. Michael Pan is with us in the building. Please be on code. Come in the room and greet. Let us know where you're watching from and be a part of the conversation today. Yes, Portia Official, I see you there, sweetheart. Lovely to see you. Big shout outs. What's up? Miss Fran, living single. Shout outs from South Jersey. I just returned home from Ghana. It was my first time visiting the continent. You are most welcome, Aquaba. I hope you had a lovely visit. Yes. So welcome to the African Superstar Show. Today I'm talking about 10 ways to know whether or not Africa is for you. Okay, so I'll take it from the top since we have a lot of you guys have joined us. The number 1 reason, which is very obvious, you don't like Africans. Okay, I don't know what it is with the diaspora. There's a lot of contention behind some members of the diaspora. And I would say if you don't like Africans, it doesn't make sense to come and try to reside in their country. You're going to be surrounded by them. Okay, so if you don't have any interest in people of a particular nation, it would make sense that you don't move to their country. All right, so be mindful of that. Number 2 is you're not adaptable. The countries here on the continent, for the overwhelming majority, there are some countries with decent infrastructure, but the overwhelming majority of them are developing nations. So you need to be adaptable when you come here. Okay, there may be some inconveniences, There may be things you're not familiar with, and things may constantly be changing. So you need to be able to deal with that. All right. Number 3 is you love the 4 seasons. If you're one of those people, my mom's one of those people. She claims she likes the 4 seasons. I don't like the 4 seasons. I like sunshine, sunshiny days and tropical. Okay. So I'm good here in Ghana. But some of you guys, you complain, oh, it's just too hot. It's just too humid. The sun is scorching. Okay, don't come here. Go ahead and stay in your 4 seasons environment. Okay, go ahead and do that. Number 4 reason, you're broke. Okay, you don't have money. Okay, I would highly recommend working out your finances before you come here. You can do like Miss Fran and come and visit Ghana. All right, big shout outs to Miss Fran. Had the first visit to Ghana. Take the first visit to Kenya. Go to Nigeria. Go to South Africa. Whatever is piquing your interest, and work out your situation. Go back to the drawing board. Regroup. Get your finances together. It's a huge waste of money for you to come here ill-prepared financially. Now, obviously, you can come here. Things can happen. I would hope that you don't get scammed. If you listen to some of my advice, you will avoid it. I would hope you don't have like a health situation or anything like that that might siphon your money. But realistically, coming here, you need to have that worked out. Please don't come any other way. Big shout outs to African Superstar family. Thank you so much, guys. Kwesi Etisang, that's one of my Ghana folk. Big shout outs in England. I see you there, brother. Afisha Pa. Yes, yes, yes. Michael is repping from Virginia. I see the family. Thank you guys for being interactive. I really appreciate it because it's a live stream after all. Okay, it's a live stream after all. Save your no commenting self for the pre-recorded videos. Okay, number 5. Woo, Lord. Shout out to the diaspora already on the continent. You guys might be sick of this one. This one is very irritating to me. Number 5, you compare everything to the West. Are you one of those people? Huh? Are you one of those people? Oh my God, in England, it's, they do it like this. Okay, in America, it's like this. Well, back in New York, it's like this. In Toronto, they do it like this. It's pause. You are not in the West anymore. If you like it so much the way it is in the West, you like this and that, and everything's a problem here in Ghana, and you're constantly comparing, and I miss this, and I don't like that. Okay, go back. Go back. Okay, it's not by force that you are here. I like to remind people that this is a individual, non-duress decision. If you move to Africa, you have made that choice. Nobody has forced you to be here. If it doesn't meet your standards, and if you're not comfortable here, you're not happy here, it doesn't make sense to come here, okay? If you compare everything to the West, it's very, very safe to say that coming to Africa is not going to be for you, unless you want to go somewhere like South Africa. In my opinion, South Africa is very, very reminiscent to the West. They have, the type of infrastructure we're familiar with. They even have white people there. They even have the cold weather and season. So maybe somewhere like that might be more comfortable for you. But why are you coming to other countries and complaining about the circumstances there? It really doesn't make sense, guys. So that is a number 5 indicator that it's not for you. All right. The next one is you're interested in finding a job. Okay. You are looking for a job. Let me just tell you, most countries here on the continent, their economies are, challenged. The job market is challenged. It's already saturated with young people, new graduates that are looking for jobs. Here in Ghana, over 50% of the population currently is under the age of 30. All right. So what does that mean for the American, the Canadian, the UK person coming here also looking for a job? It's going to be very competitive. Okay. And it's not to say you can't find a job, but I wouldn't recommend coming here if you're looking for a job. Again, These are things that you should work out. Perhaps you can find a remote position, or they can make some kind of adjustment for you at your job where you're able to, manage it, or you come and look for opportunities here and create your own lane. I would say that this is really an environment for people that are that way. People that are adaptable, people that are hustlers, people that are visionaries, people that are non-conventional. This is going to be your environment. If you're someone who is, you are very, very regimental and you have a single dimensional view on life and you just want, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, no. You're going to have to become, for God's sake, I came to Ghana and became a music star. I never did music in the West. You know what I'm saying? I was a corporate banker in America, and I worked in a mental hospital in the UK. But I'm adaptable, and I really enjoy, seeing new chapters of myself and being creative and compelling myself to performance. This is a great environment for you. Consider if you can see life beyond being an employee. Okay? All right. Should I do a recap? Say recap if you guys need a recap. Should I do a recap of the first that I've gone over? Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? Michael Pan is already on it. Have you thought about moving to Ghana in the future? She just had her first visit. Hello, Ms. Linda. I see you there. Thank you so much. Pro Woman says, just got out of authentic African live stream on the non-blacks that got citizenship. Then this came up in my feed. Guess Africa is for me. I haven't got through all the lists. I don't know. If any of these reasons I'm given apply to you, I'd say Africa ain't for you. Hello, Portia Official. Comparison is the thief of joy. Absolutely. I think you look like a complete idiot and fool when you come to a different environment and all you can do is reminisce of your previous place. And you move voluntarily, like nobody moved you. Nobody solicited you to be in your new location. Did you not do, a reasonable amount of research to determine if it would be a good fit for you? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do understand when you come on vacation, you live a different reality than when you are permanently here. But to me, I just really don't get the point. When I moved to England from America, I didn't compare the UK to the US. Oh, this is how they do this. This is how they do that. I was completely aware I'm in a different location and there's a different protocol. I also don't compare Ghana to the US and the UK. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a whole different place. That's why I'm here. That I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love Ghana because it is different, because it's not like the West. When I went to South Africa and South Africa felt like the West to me, I was like, nah, it's a nice place. I definitely vacation there. I'll definitely come and do some piano collabs with the amazing artists in South Africa. But for me, I'm not interested in living there, so please, again, do your due diligence. What's up? What's up? Miss Fran says, I want to visit other countries. Highly recommended. Big shout outs. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Knowledge Seeker is in the building asking for the recap. So we'll take it from the top. Big shout outs, family. Please make sure you like the stream if you're enjoying this content. Today is 10 reasons to know how you can determine if Africa is not for you. The number one reason is you don't like Africans. Common sense, but people are moving here and they're annoyed by the people, their country people that are there. And I'm just like, crazy. Number two, you're not adaptable. Okay. Number three, you like the four seasons. Most places on the continent are tropical. You're not going to get the four seasons. If you like four seasons, stay in the West where you can have them. Okay. Number four, very important, you're broke. Don't come here if you can't figure it out. Okay. Don't come here without working out your finances, please. Number five is you compare everything to the West. Why are you in Africa if you miss America so much? If people come here and they all of a sudden America is like the favorite place. The UK is the favorite place. They can't stand Ghana. They don't like this. Oh, it's too dusty. Oh, people aren't on time. Oh, this, oh, that. I live next to a mosque. Bro, go back to, the place where everybody knows your name. Go on back. Nobody's holding you here. Okay. The number 6 reason was you're interested in finding a job. Big shout outs, Portia. I see you there, sweetheart. Thank you so much for the super chats. Okay, Miss Fran, I see you. Thank you so much, you guys, for your super chats. Appreciate you. Yes, I had to stop and take a moment out. Yes. Okay. Now, the next one, very important. And this, I'm going to send this out to mostly Black Americans, okay? Because this definitely applies to us. You are overly sensitive and emotional. Okay, one thing that I have come to realize here in Africa is people are not overly sensitive and overly emotional. We are really groomed in the West to be so emotional and triggered about every little thing and so offended about this and offended by that. Well, they said this and they did that. And, making things more than they are in some cases. People here have to hustle. A lot of people have to hustle to live and survive. Their emotions are not on their sleeve here. If you're someone that every time, you get you feel like people are talking about you, you feel like they don't like you, you feel like someone was rude, your emotions are going to be off the Richter scale because people here are not going to appeal to your sensitivity and the politically correct nonsense that is the West. Everybody's offended. Everybody, you have to accommodate everybody's feelings and all that stuff. If you are overly emotional, no, this environment is not going to cater to that. So let me just tell you. So either you have two options, all right? If you're overly emotional, you're going to tighten up. You're going to realize that the world does not revolve around you and that people are not attacking you. You're not the center of the universe, and it is what it is. Okay? Big shouts. What's up, guys? Okay, the next point is you're not willing to learn anything new. Again, it makes common sense. You're coming to a brand new environment, okay? And you don't know this place. You have to be ready to learn new things. If you're kind of old and decrepit and stuck in your ways and you just, you think you've watched a couple YouTube videos, you've watched Road to Mine, you've watched me, you've watched Dynast, you've watched T3 and Me, you've watched Tim Swain. You think, oh, I'm an expert on this Africa thing. No, you are not. So be ready. Be open and willing to learn new things about the new country that you're in. Essentially, guys, we're starting from scratch here. Okay, we're starting from scratch. We're building a whole new life. We're building a new chapter. The more receptive to that fact you are, the better you're going to do here in Africa. If you are stuck in, your mind or whatever, you're not going to matriculate well here. And that's the fact. So please, if you are not willing to learn anything new, Africa is not for you. Okay, stay where you are. Number 9, you're not outgoing. Okay, let me tell you, migrating is not for the faint at heart. Anybody who's in here who has migrated will tell you. Okay, you're starting your life over again at block 1. Okay, you don't have the relationships from school. You don't have the relationships from work. You are new to the community. You're in a new country. There could be language barriers. Okay, when we think about our life in the Western world, it's comprised of all these different networks a lot of times that we have built over time. Work, school, university, family, these kind of things. And when you're placing yourself in a new environment, you don't have those relationships in that environment unless you create them. So I would highly recommend, if you are not an outgoing person, moving to the continent will be challenging for you because the world doesn't know you're here. Okay? If you're looking to date and things like that, Prince Charming, Prince Charming, they're not going to come and knock your door. They don't have you on GPS. Nobody knows that you're new to the country, nor do they care because everybody's going on with their life. You are going to have to project yourself out to learn the place, make new friends, date, whatever it is. Okay, if you're interested in business and all those things, you're going to have to get out of your shell and do it. If it's too overwhelming for you, you know, you're kind of like on the no new friends campaign and you like it the way it is. Again, moving to Africa, you know, just like any other place in the world, it can be a lonely place if you don't get yourself out there. I knew someone who came and moved here, and this person stayed in their room 24/7. You know, I would invite them to go places, like go with me here and there. The person would refuse, you know. And I think ultimately that person became very lonely because, you know, they moved here and didn't have any associations and wasn't willing to go for it. So if you're going to come and do that, bro, what's up, family? All right, let me check the comments before I get to number 10, and then I do a recap for you. Big shout out to African Superstar family. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Fran, for that super chat. I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to Michael Penn. Thanks, guys. You're very complimentary. I love the family. I just want you guys to be successful. You know what I mean? I just want you guys to be successful. The last thing in the world you should do is come here and struggle unnecessarily and then fail and give your haters ammunition to talk more nonsense. We don't want to do that. We want to win. We want to be award winning. We want to be champions. What's up, ATM International? Yes. Big shout outs to George from Detroit. I see you. Thank you so much. Big shout outs. Afro Carib is there. Love Ghana. I'm currently in Canada, biding my time to come back to my property in Pram Pram. Miss the ocean, the people, and the land. Yes, we miss you too. Knowledge Seeker agrees. Don't come to Africa if you cannot control your emotions. Please don't. You know, please don't take a lot of things personal that are not personal. You know, again, I directed this at Black Americans because a lot of them are repeat offenders. They particularly get unnerved when they're caught foreigners or things like that. And it's like, look, it's really not that deep for people here. They're simply acknowledging the fact that you have an American accent and you didn't grow up here and you are culturally different. You know what I'm saying? And it is the truth. And I know because of the deep emotional trauma in the West, it's so offensive to, you know, Black Americans to hear that on the continent. But I'm telling you, it's not that deep. Okay, it's really, really not that deep. Everybody who calls you a Black American or maybe an Obroni here in Ghana or whatever, or foreigner or whatever, or you tell them I'm an African and they say you're not an African, you're American. Those kind of situations, I'm telling you, it's surface for a lot of people. They're just identifying you as you are associated. So please don't take it personal or don't come here if you can't handle it, you know. Big shout outs to Michael Pat. I understand why they want to go to the African continent because Western countries are too much for them to handle. I understand their frustration because they expect African nations to be 100. But realistically, guys, I talked about this on a previous video. You know, our interest to the continent is relatively new. We have not, as the diaspora, been investing collectively here in the motherland to bring it up to speed. And like I said, here in Ghana, since I took my first trip back in 2016, I've seen just total transformation in many, many areas. And things are constantly changing here. And so I'm very encouraged that, okay, 10 years in, 20 years in, the Ghana of today is going to be something completely different. And we just have to understand when we're coming from outside. Obviously, we want to settle down. We want to get in our new home. We want everything to start working, especially if we're coming from situations we don't feel like, you know, we've had a lot of success. Our relationships have been failing. You know, we're sick of our career, our health, whatever. You know, so once you come to the continent, you just want to kick your shoes off and get into it. But this is a journey. You know, this is a new lifestyle. It will take time. Just be a little patient. Who knows our mission statement? Who knows our mission statement? I'm away. I know somebody knows it. Go ahead and pop it in the chat room if you know it. Big shout outs to the family. Yes, yes, yes. Pro Woman says, $2 issue over cab fare almost caused a knockdown, drag out fight between my driver and chaperone in Ghana. People hella stressed over lack of money. That's why I talked about it on the list. Don't come here if you broke. Please do the needful, okay? Knowledge Seeker says, I think most of their complaints when they are in Africa are based on lack of finance, but they will pretend. Oh, yeah, that's very true, because the truth is, because you didn't organize your finances and you came over here thinking everything was cheap, and you came over here with your $2 thinking you could rent a mansion or buy some land with $2, and you come over here and you say, oh my goodness, you know, things are expensive. You know, wow, some of these African people are rich. Wait a minute. They paid for these houses. They paid for their cars. You realize that, oh my goodness, I'm not the big fish I thought I was. And because you didn't organize yourself or didn't do your research, you got to live out where you can afford. And a lot of the amenities is going to be in the cities, you know. And so then now you mad because you came to Africa thinking you can make it in $2 and you got a reality check, and now everything is irritating. The roads are bad and this and that. You didn't have light. You didn't have power. Pro tip, the further you get from the city, the more of those kind of things you're going to experience. Okay. So if you want, probably I'd say the best living options available in some nations, you probably want to go to the cities. I recommend diasporans, especially when they're new, you know, if they can manage, they should be in the city environment, okay, to get themselves acclimated to the country, to people, how things work. If eventually you get yourself versed in the nation, yeah, you can go out to the countryside or whatever if you feel comfortable. But coming into an unfamiliar place and then going out to rural communities, I do not recommend it. People are doing it, and some people are not having success in that. So that's a very good point. Big shout outs. What's up? M. George says, I stayed in Cebu for a month last year. I'm coming back to stay longer to eventually retire. When you are financially broke, almost any and everything can annoy you. Absolutely. Philip Scott said, brothers and sisters, we need to have 2 addresses for African countries and non-African countries. Yes. Thank you, Portia. Please make sure you take a moment and like the video if you're enjoying it. If you're getting any valuable information, please do that. And don't forget, you can support the stream, share it. Who knows our mission statement? I'm looking through the chat to see if anybody knows our mission statement. Michael says, most African nations emphasize communal connections. American emphasizes autonomy and individualism. Absolutely. M. George says, they call me the big Obroni. I got a kick out of that. You must be a big man. Sarah C., good to see you, sweetheart. She's reminding you guys to hit the likes. We have 38 of you, so do the needful. ATM International, I can't wait to come back to the continent. Moving to the African continent requires people to think outside of the box. Absolutely. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. Those of you guys that know our mission statement. Oh, yes. I see you guys. What's up, Alex? Yes. For those of you guys that don't know our mission statement, it is SMP. It stands for strategy, maturity, and patience. Okay. You can apply it to everything in your life, but you definitely need to apply it to your plans here in the motherland. Strategy, maturity, and patience. Okay. If you apply that, you will have success in many areas. I promise. I 100% guarantee. It's what I use on a regular basis. It's what the African Superstar family practices. And that's what, you know, our mission statement, you know, I developed it because people are not coming with strategy, being immature, and wanting everything overnight. And that ideology is not going to get you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, you know, trying to make a life here on the continent, it's new for all of us. You know, it's not something familiar among our families and friends. It's not something that's been popular. This is new, uncharted territory. Give yourself the best opportunity to succeed by operating strategically, operating maturely, and operating with patience. Big shout out to all the African superstar family that knew what was up. Big shout out to, hey, Tony Africa, I see you there, brother. I see you there. Yes, yes, yes. I see you guys. Yes. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a final recap before I finish up. I'm going to give you guys the number 10 reason that you will know if Africa is not for you. Because like I said, I often have, thank you guys, big shots, Afro Carib, I see you there, and Tony Africa. Yes, SMP, our mission statement is necessary. Okay, so this video is meant to be a little lighthearted because I do get those, divisive members of the diaspora coming on my videos, and white people and everybody except who's supposed to be here. And they say, Africa's not for everybody. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. So let me give you some of the signs and symptoms that it's not for you. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up after this. Number one reason you don't like Africans. Okay, if you don't like African people, don't move to their country. Simple advice, save yourself a lot of hardship. Okay. Number two, you're not adaptable. Okay. Here in Ghana, sometimes the lights go off, sometimes the power goes off, sometimes you have to make do, sometimes you have poor network, sometimes you have a rough road, sometimes there's traffic. I mean, look, sometimes you don't understand what they're saying. Sidebar. This is a little funny story to tell you guys before I get through this. So when I first came to Ghana, obviously there was a place that I was going to, and the place was called Sand City. Okay. So the place was called Sand City. All right. SANDCITY. Okay. So I was telling the people, I was trying to tell a taxi car, I'm like, okay, I'm going to Sand City. Okay. And they were so confused, and they were like, where is Sand City? And so I would spell it out, SAND, and they would say, oh, San City. And I'm like, San, with the accent, okay? And I realized how I have to pronounce the word in order to, for people to understand me in the local environment. And it was at first I couldn't understand, but I would have to spell it out. Sometimes you have to utilize your Google. Sometimes you have to show pictures and things like that. Okay, but you need to be adaptable if you're coming here to the continent. The continent is developing, all right, which means it's not probably, the infrastructure that you're accustomed to coming from the Western world. You know that coming in, especially if you visited here. You know that. So don't come here acting up when you have to adapt, okay? You're coming here, we've told you about the water outages, we've told you about the rough roads, we've told you about the power outages, and we've told you. So you should know by now, okay? Don't act like a deer in headlights when you encounter it. Number three, you love the four seasons. Sometimes I meet people in here, oh my God, it's so hot in Ghana. Bro, go back to the cold. Go back. Go back. Okay? Go back. Nobody told you to come live in a tropical environment if you like cold weather. Just go be there. All right? Number four, you're broke. You don't have money. Please don't come to Africa if you're broke. It can be an expensive place, especially for you as a broke person. And the thing is, if you're used to, perhaps you receive some assistance, you receive, welfare or disabilities or whatever from the Western world, you can't get that support here. There's no food stamps here. There's no medical transport for free. There's no, there's not accommodations for that. This is not the place you want to be if you're having money problems, realistically. Okay. Number 5, you compare everything to the West. If you compare everything to the West, then Africa's not for you. Okay. Because you're in a different country and it's not America. It's not UK. It's not Canada. It's not Australia. Yes, We know you're used to the trains. You're used to Amazon Prime. I got you. 24/7 power electric. I got you. Okay. Ghana is not the West. So if you need the West, just be in the West. Okay. Don't come here. Number 6, you are interested in finding a job. Okay. You want to come here and get involved with the strained economy here and look for a job with all the young people that are looking for jobs here. No, don't do it. Okay. Try to find an alternative way to get the money. Really, if you're smart, if you're someone who needs to work a job, realistically, get a job in the West, something remote or whatever, okay? And then do it when you're here so that you can get the money and live in Africa. That's a pro tip. That's great. But coming here to physically look for jobs, I don't think it's a great way to go. Okay, number 7, you are overly sensitive or emotional. Okay, if you're someone you're crying all the time, your emotions are hurt, you're bipolar, you're extremely depressed, and you feel like the world's against you. Please, nobody's going to cater to that here in Ghana. Nobody is going to cater to your sensitivity. All right, so if you are that kind of person, you can either toughen up, or I would recommend just staying in the Western world where we have to accommodate any and everybody, and everybody's so sensitive and we have to take note and all that. Over here, it's not like that. So please be mindful. All right. The next tip, you're not willing to learn anything new. If you want to come here and you can't adapt, this kind of goes back to being adaptable. But I mean, realistically, you're coming to a new country, a new place. You're going to have to learn new things. You're going to have to make new acquaintances. You're going to have to go outside of your box and get acclimated if you want success and longevity. All right. The number 9, you're not outgoing, because again, you're coming to the country. The country's not coming to you. Nobody even knows you're here. So if you're not willing to put yourself out there, socialize, take a walk around the neighborhood, learn the place, learn the names, try to acclimate, you're not going to have longevity here, guys. Okay. And yes, the number 10, I saw somebody here. That is actually, it's so funny, RN, because that is my number 10 reason. You are an indigenous Chickasaw from America. If you are one of those Black people that think you have no connection to the motherland, Africa is not for you. Okay, if you believe that you are indigenous to the Americas or wherever, stay there, bro. Stay there, okay? Because Africa is for Africans. Okay, so Africans should be here. All right. Yes, Africa should be here. And you'll say, obviously, the Chickasaws will say, "Well, I saw the white people getting it." Yeah. Well, Africa is for Africans and apparently other people that are interested in being here. So if you're not interested, please, by all means, it's not by force. All right. It's not by force. Yes, yes, yes. M. George says Ghana is for me, but not my wife. And that's why I'm coming by myself. A lot of people are in that situation, M. George. A lot of people are in that situation. And I don't envy you guys. And I hope you guys can get it sorted out, because living in Ghana is amazing. I would say those of you guys that are single and searching, be mindful of this. If Africa's on your horizon, make sure you select the right mate so that you don't get into these situations. Okay? Because it can make things so much more difficult. When you want to be one place and the other person wants to be the other place, unless you guys can make an arrangement where it accommodates both of you. So good luck to that, M. George. I know it's not easy. Yes. All right, let me go here. Sarah C says, move to South Africa if you like the cold. Yeah, I told him it got snow. 2024, I saw pictures of snow, and I think Lesotho also got very chilly, and South Africa, which Lesotho is right there next to South Africa. So yeah. Sarah C says there are westernized countries in Africa like Cape Verde, Namibia, Botswana, Mauritius, and South Africa. Yes. Hi, Lucy Ham. Big shout out from California. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I hope you're okay, honey. I hope all those wildfires are not disturbing you. Shout outs to my viewers out in Cali. My heart goes out to you guys, indeed, because I've been seeing some of the images. I have a few friends in California. I've spoken to everyone, and none of my personal acquaintances were affected. But if it does apply to any of you guys, know that I'm thinking about you out there. Okay, Michael Pan. Well, I'm anti-interracial. Sorry, so I guess y'all gonna have to work it out. I guess y'all gonna have to work it out. I don't know, because that's not my territory. I only speak about things I know. See, for me, it's black lovers stay single. I'm not doing interracial, so I don't know how that works. But I reckon, it's the same as any other relationship. When one party wants one thing and the other party wants another thing, so you guys are going to have to come to a consensus. Or, obviously, I'm not going to be an advocate for breaking up your family, but depending on how serious you are about your endeavors, you may just have to let that partner go if you guys are not on board. If you're in a marriage, it's worth the extra consideration. If you're simply dating, let that man go. Sorry, guys. Because long distance relationships, this is not what I came to talk about, Michael Pan. You should super chat me because this is not the topic. Okay, the topic is 10 ways to know if you're coming for the motherland. But the thing is that long distance relationships are really difficult. And, I try to advise people against them if at all possible, because it sets the stage for a lot of drama. The whole point of having a partner is you have a companion, you have a lover, you have someone in your proximity. I do know that life presents us situations. Some people are married to military. Sometimes you travel for business, or you might do a school program abroad. I get you. Temporary long distance, we can try to navigate through that. Long-term long distance is going to set the stage for infidelity, loneliness, disconnection, all kinds of sexual frustration, all kind of things. If it's not necessary, you don't have to deal with that if you don't want to deal with that. And if you are single and you know that, okay, I'm planning to go to the motherland, maybe you want to either find someone in the location of where you're going or wait until you relocate to begin relationships, because long distance relationships are very complicated, especially when you guys are not on the same page. It's just so draining and crazy. So please avoid it. Okay. Prevention is better than cure. This is something our generation is not, they don't think proactively. So they get into crazy situations and then they have to deal with the backlash. Start thinking ahead of time. When I knew I was moving to Ghana, when I made that decision in 2018, I stopped dating after that in the UK. I had a boyfriend that I was seeing at the time. And I was just like, you know what? I'm moving to Ghana and I just want to focus on my plans in Ghana. And, I didn't date until I got here. Irony, the first person I dated when I got here moved to the UK in a few months after. That's the irony and crazy. But yeah, true story. All right. M. George says, if you identify as FBA, stay in America. They're always the ones saying that Africa's not for everyone and they're an indigenous Chickasaw Indian, so they're not going to come. So I don't think we really have to worry about them. They'll start coming when it's probably too late. And when the trend is huge and, when they've missed out on everything, that's when they're going to want to try to take advantage of Africa. And for a lot of people, it's going to be way beyond their reach, because now is the time. Now is the time. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family, and a special shout outs to my super chat donors. I see you guys in the building. Thank you so much for contributing to our content, contributing to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It means so much. Big shout outs to all of our viewers today. We had over 40 of you here. Take a minute out and like the stream if you enjoyed this, if you got anything from it, if it made you laugh, just let me know. And last but not least, if you're not subscribed to our platform, you like my content, you like me, you want information about moving to Ghana and moving to Africa, this is your platform. So make sure you subscribe. Okay, family? Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.